Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bjornholm, or one of the TC. How did you do this? Okay, so if I do this, will you actually work properly? There we go. Welcome back to Bjornholm, where I'm having some small troubles with horseplay. Again, there's nothing new with me having problems with horseplay, apparently. So we got horseplay working, hopefully, and hopefully working in a way that I like. I'm really glad I didn't have that down. So I need to reverse. There we go. Hopefully horseplay is working correctly now. To harvest field 25. Field 23 is still getting ploughed. You can see it up there, looking all pretty and half planted. I'd look around the map before I started recording today, and it's all three episodes, the last three episodes, well, the last two episodes and this one, are all back to back recording, and I kind of never mentioned this. I looked around the map before I started recording, and all of the fields that need to be ploughed up, according to the rules that I have, all the fields that need to be ploughed up, they're all planted in barley. So, there's a part of me thinking, well, if they're all planted in barley, why don't I just do a massive barley harvest every time I want to buy a field, because then it'd be cool. Or at least one of the fields that need to be ploughed up, which is wrong button. Field 17, 27, 13, 12, 26 is tiny, and 9. So I think that's going to be a thing that I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do that. I haven't fully decided yet. My voice is starting to get a bit sore. My throat's getting a bit sore. My voice is starting to go small, but so I'm going to have a small drink of Coke. It's Diet Coke and not Pepsi Max as usual, because we've run out of Pepsi Max cans. There we go. It's actually immediately better. The magic of fluids. I am still taking suggestions for the next season's rules. Although you wouldn't think so, because there've been no blooming comments about it. I am still taking suggestions, and hopefully this early in the video nobody's switched off yet. So if you have any rules you'd like to see a YouTuber try out in Farm Sim, I'm now going to say regardless of how silly. Obviously using only T4s is silly. Well, it's too silly. Something that is possible but potentially silly. The only thing I'm going to exclude is I'm not going to use the Lego weight mod. I dislike these so-called fun mods that are just silly. I don't get it. I don't get the joke. I know the physics in this game aren't brilliant. I know it's a simulator, essentially in name only. There's a lot left to be desired compared to reality. But there is no such thing as a 700 kilo Lego man who's going to sit in the front of a tractor. I'm sorry, but that's just unrealistic. I mean, if you guys said speed limit of 10 kilometers an hour for all tractors, that's silly, and it would slow the living daylights out of the series, but I could do it. I'd find a way to cheat it, because I'll probably have a truck, so I'll load the tractors onto the truck and drive the truck around as fast as I want to, because the speed limit will only be for tractors. And just remember, I do reserve the right to find loopholes in rules, such as the Ponce Bear idea I have. I'll have to have a look into the mod itself first and see if it's buggy or broken in any way. But it is an idea, and it is something that I'm considering doing, because I don't want to be trying to do forestry with just a chainsaw. You can tell that I didn't come up with the idea of that rule. It was my friend who I was coming up with the rules with. Said, "Oh, you can't use the scorpion, la 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 la." Should never have let him do it. But I will be trying to get some forestry going. I want to try and get as much of the map deforested as possible, really. Not as much as Dirt Peppers wants to get as much of the map deforested as possible, because his map is, well, was when he started it, essentially all trees, and I think that's a challenge too far for me. I'm not good enough at the game to be trying that. To be fair, he's playing in patch 1.1 still, which still has insane tree prices, because 1.2 is even buggier than 1.1. Hooray for Giants and their backtracking. Also, Giants, when is 1.3 coming? 1.2.1 has been released from Mac for stability. 1.3 needs to come out soon. I mean, really, 1.3 needs to come out soon. The game is still a bit of a mess. There's a lot left to be desired. And Giants really, really need to come up with a fix for a lot of issues. As well as releasing the modding documentation to modders, because there's a lot of mods that I want that are waiting on. There's a lot of mods that I'd like that are waiting on documentation to be released. Namely soil mod. I want to try and get this going. This game really silly and realistic, and have a nice bit of a challenge for myself therein. So that's the tedding done. We'll put the tedder away. Put it away so it's not leaning against the wall. There we go. Pick up the wind drawer. No, we won't. No, we won't. Yes, we will. There we go. Pick up the wind drawer, and we'll start windrowing. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was a bit early to be unfolding it. Unfold it there and just let it wait for it to unfold. Turn it on, lower it down, and let's get started windrowing. Hopefully faster than 7 kilometers an hour. There we go, 18. So I'm gonna try and get two windrows out of this area here. I am gonna try and get a bigger windrow yet again, because this one's a bit small. And it takes quite a while to get through. Well, it's relatively quick getting through all the stuff that I want windrowed. It's just taking longer than I'd like. I'd like to be able to have just the one row going up through this area, so I'd need to get a bigger windrower for that. Again, I'm going to stick with the in-game stuff for windrowers and tethers because it's reliable. This area here in particular is terrible to try and windrow up and work on. Harvester's still going nicely. I think once I got this row done, I'm going to check up on how the harvester is actually doing, because I want to see if turning off shuttle controls and drive control has helped it or hindered it. I've got a feeling it's helped, but probably not by much. And at least with drive control, I can get nice curves going in things. I feel like I know what I'm doing now, which is unusual. I feel like I'm actually doing things right for once, because I know I've been making a bit of a mess of things on a near constant basis, which, yes, it's entertaining, but my god, it's infuriating for me, so I'm going to check up on the harvester. And yes, shuttle control was the problem. So, we're going to swap back to windrower. We're going to pull out onto the road because that's how things work now. And we're going to very quickly, as quickly as we can, get across the road and start windrowing up this area. Beautiful. So shuttle control was in fact the problem. That's both good and annoying to know. Good because, well, now I know what the problem was. Bad, well, annoying because there's a mod conflict causing the problem, and it means I can't have shuttle control turned on my harvester the whole time, only when I'm using it. So I have to get used to that being a thing now. I'm amazed. When I got drive control first, you'll remember, if you've watched all my videos, or if you've watched this video, because I think it's my second most popular one, the Made in Germany map Spotlight, the MIG map. Drive control came with that map, and I almost immediately hated it because I couldn't understand any of the controls. But now that I've been using it properly for a while and got used to the controls, I really do like it. It gives a lot more finesse to using the keyboard and mouse. We're using the keyboard in particular because it smooths out the transitions, it smooths out turning and acceleration. And yes, I know if I wasn't using drive control, I'd probably be doing this just as neatly because I'm making tiny movements, but I do like how drive control changed the driving mechanics, albeit just a small bit. I've got an itchy eardrum. That is the most annoying thing in the world ever. So let's get windrowing here, and I'm really tempted to just turn on cruise control and fix my ear. I'm going to suffer through it for you guys. I have to suffer through it for 10 minutes nearly, probably a bit more. There's no straight areas where I can do this. I'm going to try and do it without turning on cruise control, so the camera angle won't change. You might hear a couple of things that are a bit odd. I've practically deafened myself there. Okay, that's fixed it. That's amazing. I just have to move my headphones because that was apparently part of the problem. So these windrows always look nice when they're done. I kind of wish they were a bit more realistic looking because I don't like how the windrows look in Farm Sim 15. I'm waiting for better textures to come out for windrows, because I like more realistic textures in maps. Cobra has really nice realistic textures. What other maps have I looked at that have nice realistic textures? Nuston? Was it Nuston Farm? Had nice textures. I think it was Nuston. There have been a few nice textures that I might rip out and put into a private edit of another map for myself. Retexturing maps is probably the easiest thing you can do because it's just swapping DDS files out. I've done it before on Hagenstedt in 2013. It does mean that you can't play multiplayer on the map, I don't think. But it does make the map look a lot nicer if you change out the textures. Especially the windrow textures, because the windrow textures in default Farm Sim are a bit crap. If I'm being honest with you, I don't like them all that much. They're nicer than 2013, I must say, but they still leave a lot to be desired. They really do. And when community members can come up with better textures than the developers and better stuff than the developers, I always find that it says to me the developers didn't spend enough time looking into things. It always feels that way, but the developers have a lot more that they have to look into, I suppose. Because they've got to texture all the tractors and texture all texture all of everything, whereas community members could say, oh well, I don't like this specific corn texture, I'm going to make a specific corn texture for myself. It's a lot harder coming up with unique maps than coming up with unique textures. Although some of the mod vehicles that came out in 2013 were just amazing in their functionality. I'm waiting for a combined baler wrapper that works properly. I know there is one or two. There's a John Deere one. It's okay, but it seems a bit dodgy. Really, I'm hoping that NI Modding come out with some sort of Mikhail Fusion to replace the F550 they've been bringing out for the last couple of games. It's kind of my hope is they bring out a Mikhail Fusion or something like that with a wrapper. As part of their round bale mod, because if they even bring out the round bale mod, I mean the round bale mod was just essentially a mod to have smaller round bales. Now Giants have jumped on that one with their 4-foot bales. I don't know if the round bale mod will be released for 2015. The TC5 needs refueling. Oh my, that's a problem. That means the TC5 is less than 20% fuel. That's an issue. I'm gonna try and get... That is a really big problem. I'm gonna try and get the baling done and the rest of the harvesting done, primarily on the screen, I hope. Possibly tomorrow for me, tomorrow for you guys as well. I'm going to be doing another episode, but I'm not going to do anything off screen. I want to just chillax and possibly play another game for the rest of today and chat to people and things. Tomorrow I can have a pretty long recording session. I'll be home alone most of the day. Yeah, in the next episode I'm going to try and get the rest of the harvest done without refueling the new Holland, because I don't want to be trying to bring him out on the roads. That's why I've been driving it around with the header on, is because, well, at the farm I don't need to be worried about the road network. Whereas once I need to come out onto the road network, there's going to be a problem with that harvester, and I know it. So that's the windrowing done. Next step is to bale, and before I even start baling I'm going to run up and get the bale fork and bale trailer. Now realistically the bale trailer is going to need to be on this, and I'm going down this way anyway, but the John Deere needs the bale fork. I'm going to grab the baler with this and go down and get the bale fork and bale trailer with the John Deere, I think, is how I'm going to run it. So I'm just going to straighten this out and reverse it in nice and slow. So, in the next episode, because coming up to the end of this one, we're going to be baling, and we're going to be essentially praying the New Holland doesn't run out of fuel. I have to check the fuel level in a moment. I'll just attach the baler to this, and switch off the tractor, turn on the handbrake, and we'll be done with that. Screw around with the New Holland too much. The DC5, I mean. Okay, so handbrake on. Engine off. 77, I'm gonna have to refuel it. So off screen, I'm going to let this harvest finish up and run the new TC5 down to be refueled. And in the next episode we'll be starting off on field 38, the harvest, and baling up the hay. So until then, I've been Rainbow Dave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 15 on Bjornholm. Please comment, like, subscribe, favourite, share videos, rant about me to your friends or whatever you want to do. I don't particularly mind. It's your business, not mine. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.